random pattern fabric haul. Hello and welcome. I'm Akram Tagavi-Barrett, and you're watching Akram's Ideas, bringing creative and crazy ideas to life. This episode is another one of those pattern and fabric hauls. This was a totally random and totally unexpected haul, and let's just get into the details. Basically, I was perusing on a Facebook Marketplace, which I'm sure many of you do, and I just happened to come across garage sales. It's summertime, so we like to hit some garage sales around town, and one of the garage sales in particular kind of caught my eye because they said tons of fabric at this garage sale and patterns. And I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I knew that they said that there were some quilting fabrics, and that's particularly what I had expected to find. And then they also said that they had sewing patterns, but none were shown in the photos on the Facebook Marketplace. So I knew that there would be quilting cottons and things like that, but I wasn't expecting more than maybe a handful of other fabrics and maybe a box of patterns. Boy, was I wrong! To see more episodes like this, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to Akram's Ideas, and hit the bell icon to get notified of new episodes. Because there were a ton of patterns. I mean, a ton of patterns. We were there a good hour at this garage sale just so that I could dig through the patterns. All the patterns were $1, and these weren't vintage patterns. These were more recent patterns. Some of them are patterns that are out of print, but they are still within the last 5 years or so, maybe even 10 years or so. But they had a ton of them, and I'm not just talking about like simplicity patterns. I'm talking about McCall's, Buttrick, Vogue, Berta, Quixo. Berta and Quixo never really go on sale at the Joann's and stuff, at least never $1. So I got quite a few of those as well. And so I just got quite a few of patterns that I had missed out on, and patterns that I never got a chance to actually get and are no longer available. So I got a bunch of patterns. And then they actually also had some fabric apparel there. They had several yards of fabric apparel. It was more expensive than I normally buy fabric, in the sense that I'm usually buying fabric $1 a yard at the antique stores. This fabric was more or less 50% off retail price. So I didn't buy as much fabric, but there are some here that were just too good a deal to pass up on for the quality of the fabric. So I think what I'll do is I actually have less fabric than I do patterns. I actually have like 3 grocery bags full of patterns. So what I'll do is I'll go through the fabric first, and then we'll go through the patterns. So let's get started with the fabric. So this is 3 yards of this purple kind of twill fabric. It has a little bit of stretch to it. It is just so lovely in color. So 3 yards, this was $15, and for something like this, you know, for 3 yards I think was a pretty good deal, because typically something like this is probably a good 12 to 15 per yard. So I think that was a fairly good deal. Then I specifically got this because I found this, which this is 2 yards for $12 of this 60-inch floral fabric. Isn't that beautiful? It is a stretch fabric, but I was thinking either a cardigan or a blouse, and then pair it with some slacks in this purple. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I mean, the colors just work so well together. And I'm gonna try to start doing more like color palettes with my sewing hopefully. I'll talk more about that in another video, but alright, so the next one that I got was 3 yards. This was more on the pricey side. It was $21 for 3 yards, which is maybe even like retail. It is a baby cord with embroidered apples. I toyed with whether I should get this or not, but my husband was like, you've got to get this. I am almost certain I'm going to make a Clio pinafore out of this one. It's going to be a Clio pinafore. There's just no way around it. It's probably going to be. All right, this one. This one's really fun. This was actually a reasonable price. It was 2 yards, 60-inch fabric for $8, and it's got embroidered toucans on it. This is I'm gonna say a twill of some kind. It's a heavier weight fabric. This is also going to be a beautiful pinafore. It's just so summertime. I mean, look at that. That's adorable. It's in this coral pink with toucans. I mean, why not? This next one is 3 yards for $12, 60-inch fabric again, of this lovely print here. This says it was a Doodles design, but you can see, look at that beautiful print. Let me show it the right way around. So it's 3 yards. I'm not really sure. I kind of wanted to do like a gable top out of this or something, some sort of sweatshirt, t-shirt slash pattern, but I might make it into a dress. I don't know. I think I will have leftover if I do make it a top, so maybe I can get 2 tops out of it, possibly. This one was $25 for 6 yards. It is 60 inches though, but OMG, this is like another beautiful jersey fabric. It's just so pretty, so pretty. I don't know what I want to make out of this. I mean, I feel like obviously a knit dress would be one idea. I mean, I've got enough. I could make a top and a dress, but the question becomes what knit dress? Oh, you know what? I'm thinking maybe I could make the Joni from the Stretch book. That one might be really fun. This was $2. I believe it's only about a yard, but my husband really liked the print on this. He was all like, this looks like 80s kimono. And so I don't know how much I actually have. This was just like kind of more of a quilting cotton. I'm gonna try to make a little kimono jacket out of it, maybe with some contrast, and we'll see how well I get on that. All right, so the floral fabric that I showed earlier, the jersey, they also had this, which is, how many yards was this? Does it say? I'm gonna say this was another 6 yards as well. And this is more of a darker tropical print. So look at that, isn't that pretty? I don't know what I do. I might make the Rami out of this one. More of a fitted type dress. If you have suggestions for knit dresses that you think that would look good in those fabrics, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. So this is not a knit, but it's a nice heavyweight fabric. It was it was $9 for 3 yards, but I think it's almost a fleecy type fabric, but not quite, but very soft. Oh, you know what? I bet it's a brush cotton. I bet this is brush cotton. Anyways, I thought it would make a nice pair of winter slacks. Maybe even a little topper of some kind. This one is another really lightweight jersey, and this one was, if I can find the tag, it was 3 yards for $15, but again, it's 60 inches wide, and it is a turquoise with this little gold sequencing in it. And typically I try to stay away from things that have the speckles in it because it usually makes me itch, but this one I almost want to say it maybe dyed on or something, because there's no threading on the back, so it's actually really soft. And I really like this. Like I said, it's 3 yards. I might make a dress out of it. I might just make a top and a skirt. Oh, I might make a BB skirt and some sort of top, maybe a Freya top or something, so that I could get sort of a mix and match and could wear them together or separately. Alright, so these are kind of a chiffon type fabric. This was 2.5 yards for $8. And this lovely fabric here. I am planning on making a dress with some similar type fabric, and I needed to do some test versions. So I got this fabric to do a test version. I'll talk more about that project in a later video. So I got this fabric. And then I turned around and also got this fabric, which is very similar to that one. It's not quite a chiffon. It's a little bit more opaque. This one is actually closer to the fabric that I want to make the dress in. And I love the greens and blues and roses. They have very much a vintage vibe to this, a very 60s vibe. And this was the same price. This was 2 yards for $8, and it's 60 inches wide. And this was the one that started it off. I picked up this and I'm like, I'm getting this. And I was very, very happy with that purchase. Alright, so the next one I have here is 3 yards for $15 of this adorable, where is it? Adorable butterfly print fabric. So I'm thinking I'd like to make a dress out of this. I'm thinking I want to make the Shona dress. Of course, I haven't made the Shona as of yet. This is from AK Patterns or Athena Cuckoo's Patterns. I have it printed out and I've been planning on making it, but I don't know. I've got 3 yards, so I could definitely make the dress, but I'm wondering if I want to make the dress or if I want to make the top, and if I'd get more wear out of the top versus the dress. But the dress would be super cute in this print. Or do you think the print's just too loud and I should make the top instead? Love to hear your comments below. Oh, and then the last one that I have here is 4 yards for $8. This is like a silky satiny color. Look at that. Oh, isn't that just so lovely and drapey? I said I had 4 yards of this. It could be a dress, but I'd love to make a blouse out of this that I could pair with other things and then maybe also make a dress. This is just, I love that print. And it's a nice sort of a warm gray color. So it's very nice. I like it. So that was the fabric haul. They had quite a bit more fabric, but I tried to limit my purchases as I don't really need any more fabric, as you all know. And simply because, well, these were still really good deals. They were slightly more expensive than what I usually find fabric for, but these were really, really nice quality fabric. So that's also something to keep in mind. But what I really did get the most of was patterns. So I'm gonna kind of flip the camera around and do sort of a top-down view so you can kind of see all the patterns. And I'll probably speed up this video because there are quite a lot of patterns there, and we might be here forever if I sat and just talk through every single one of those. So with that said, let's get into our patterns. So those were the patterns that I picked up, and as many of you know, I have a ton of patterns, and you're probably thinking, how do I keep organized? So I do have some pattern cabinets, and I have them in numeric order, but I don't have any kind of way of knowing what patterns that I have. So I have started a new Instagram account called Akram's Pattern Stash, and my goal on this account is to basically take photos of all the patterns in my stash, starting with these patterns that I just recently got. I'm going to sit down and take photos of each one of these, and I'm going to add them to the Instagram account. And this account is two folds. So one, so I could keep record of what the heck I have in my collection, but also, as I've said, I have over 5,000 patterns, if not more already, so I am never gonna make every single pattern in my stash. So if you follow Akram's Pattern Stash on Instagram and you come across a pattern that you just have to have and know that you're going to make, you can DM me to purchase said pattern. So it's not so much of a full-on pattern sale, like I'm not pushing it as a sale, but if you're interested in a pattern and I happen to have it, then feel free to DM me for that. Another thing that I've actually done not too long ago is in some of the Facebook groups, somebody had a vintage pattern that did not come with the instructions, and so I actually had the instructions to said pattern and made a copy for them made a PDF copy for them. So if there's a situation like that where you're needing some instructions and I happen to have the pattern, just DM me, let me know, and I'll see if I can help you out in that situation. But again, I have a lot of patterns, so be sure if you're interested or just curious about what patterns I have in my stash, that will be an ever-growing Instagram account, because there's no way that I'm just all of a sudden gonna have a bunch of patterns on there. I'm gonna slowly get all the patterns onto that account. So I'll be slowly taking photos of all the patterns in my stash throughout the rest of the year, and I don't even know if I'll get through all of them, but we shall see. So there is that, and I think that is it for my random garage sale fabric and pattern haul. I'd love to hear in the comments below what patterns and fabrics were your fave from this haul, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for any of the items that I got in the haul, of what you think I should make with them or what you think I should do with them. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Akram's Ideas, and thanks for watching.
Pattern and fabric haul. Let's do that one more time. This is alright, going back. Soft fabric. I hope I'm not getting makeup on it. It's so soft. It's so soft.